I just put a new bobbin into the machine right here, and she's humming along, happy about the fact that my Gamel provides me with a thread sensor, so when the bobbin runs out, I'm able to just replace her and pop a new one in. This has taken about 6 bobbins to get through this quilt, so it's not small, and it takes a fair amount of thread to do this wonderful fan and loop design. Now, because the quilt was already created, it was a totally put together quilt. The top, the batting, and the back, because it was all fully put together, and Colleen went through and took all of the stitches out of it, then what we had to work with was just the fabric that was already here. In fact, here's some of the early stitches. It was just a very large meander with very large stitches, and they just weren't holding up the integrity on the front and the back of the quilt. There was tension issues, and lots of the threads have been popped, so I'm so glad we're getting it redone. The top of the quilt is magnificent, and the back's in great shape, as is the batting. Everything's in great shape. It was just the stitching, so I'm so grateful she brought it over, and I'm able to put it all together. It's going to have a ton of integrity with the design that's going on right here. So let me tell you, because the backing was already on it, and it was self-bound, meaning the backing was rolled over twice and created its own binding. Because of that, the person, you can actually see the old stitching right here. The person who bound this did it with a very, very large binding on it, which is fine. I mean, actually, it's fantastic. It's way larger than I would have done or that I would normally recommend. But hey, if you want to do a bigger binding, that's fabulous. But the one thing about it that's so great right here, excuse me, is that because it's had such a large binding on it, I have plenty of fabric to attach the backing to my leader at the top, to the leader at the bottom. I've got more than 3 inches here and way more than 3 inches on each side. I have plenty to work with. So this is a bonus for me for sure that that's the case. If the quilt was exactly like it was when it showed up, but the backing was done with regular binding and she had pulled all the stitches out, then when this backing was put on here, one, it would have to have had leaders attached all the way around it in order to have enough to secure onto the backing of the machine. And two, there's no way the front would have fit on it perfectly. She would have lost part of the front of the quilt in order to be able to fit it onto the backing. Or the other option was to maybe put a splice in the backing and add another piece of fabric, which would have been perfectly acceptable. But because the way it was created, I was able to actually use the exact same backing and not have to add anything to it. I will be trimming this up and putting new binding on it, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, questions or thoughts, pop them down below and let's start a conversation.